Hello everyone, bonjour tout le monde. Welcome to EFA160 on this Saturday, August 29th. Attention governance. I'm speaking directly to you, the governance, the global governance here. What about the spirit of Christmas? And I'm talking to all out there that celebrate Christmas and gatherings. And when I'm looking at the business industry, right? And I'm going to tie in the business industry into the community of governance, of corporate, of business, of private, etc. So my question to you, governance, what about the spirit of Christmas? And I'm asking you this question because a lot of the decisions that are made for the health and safety of everyone. And we all agree, nobody will argue that. And sometimes those decisions are made at a pace that when you're running a business, that's not how your mindset works when you're running a business. You don't hit the wall and then have a meeting while you hit the wall. You foresee the wall, right? So you don't want to hit the wall. And that's what you do in business. And right now, we're going into the fall season. The leaves are going to start falling. The snow is going to start blowing. And we're going to go into the Christmas season and etc. The businesses that got really, really hit hard, and a lot of them they're rebuilding, they're restructuring, they're repivoting, right? The ones that did not fail yet and are still moving and pivoting. A lot of these businesses run on the industry of summer tourism, right, which we all know got really affected hard. So they expanded their businesses. A lot of them, like restaurants. I was out last night. I was outside, beautiful restaurant, Mezzanotte, which I frequent and I speak of. Here's a restaurant that's been there for 25 years. And that understand the business industry, and they pivoted and they were able to extend outside, basically taking over street space to make patio space. And hence last night we were out there till 1 a.m. like sitting there having conversation. Beautiful evening, and it was about the conversations, the gatherings, right? And I'm gonna get into this. And I was with 4 business individuals, friends, brothers, and then other individuals sat at the table, and we got into conversations about what is next now for you guys, because the patio is going to be shut down soon, and the information is not out yet. They don't have that information on how they're going to approach for gatherings, for Christmas seasons, for etc., which is their money maker. So let's put the money aside, because right now people sometimes see, oh, it's all about the money. Okay, let's put the money aside here, okay? Forget the money, forget the livelihood, forget the families that count on it. Let's put the money aside and let's just think of the health and safety. Let's also think of the mental health and safety, the psychological, and everything that we know about this COVID-19 world that we live in, and how much mental anguish it has caused in suicides and opiate epidemic, etc. And the gatherings in communities and community involvements and so forth, how that is also important in the fabric of every democratic structure. So when I was asking those questions last night, because my mind thinks, the tapestry of my mind, how I put things together, and those questions, like right now, people are traveling within their countries. They're within their countries because nobody wants to do the 14 days, right? You're doing it within your country because otherwise, if you're going to another country, you got to stay there for 14 days or self-quarantine yourself or come back, self-quarantine 14 days. Who has that? Unless you're really retired. And even, you're never going to be retired. You're still going to be busy. Even if you're retired, who wants to be sitting somewhere for 14 days? Right, so that's the option, or travel within your country, which people are doing, etc., and spending time at home, investing in their houses, and so there's a lot of good things that came out of this. More family time, right? The gatherings and that. So this is where the importance of what I'm getting into for the business, right? The spirit of Christmas and New Year's and so forth is in the gatherings. The spirit of Christmas. Right now, there's so much of fragmentation that was caused within our nation, within our society, within our cultures, and we're seeing it with marches and protests and demonstrations, social media, everything, right? So we have to plan ahead. And I know, Governor, I'm not telling you that you haven't thought this out, but please, let's not hit the wall. It's like the school season right now. They're still up in the air, right? A lot of the places, like school season is right upon us. Right, and some places have started and that kind of stuff, but it's just like the gatherings are coming. So the restaurateurs, the venues and etc., they need to know now, right? So they can prepare and plan ahead and what they need to do to modify and pivot. Like they pivot a lot of them for the patios outside, which those patios are going to be disappearing now with the blowing winds. So the spirit of Christmas is in the gathering. Let the business communities, corporations, governments, right? I'm talking about everything. Your governments, your corporations, your communities, your businesses, your private industry, all those Let them govern themselves, right? Let those organizations police themselves within police venues. All these venues, all these places that are for the community. When I have conversations with venue owners and you talk about the gatherings, it's businesses, it's charity events, it's law firms, it's everything from government, from corporation, from private industry, throughout. It's everything from the communities that spend time together. And a lot of these venues already police themselves within their bubbles, right? It would be good to allow them to celebrate the festivities that are coming upon us. And venues need to prepare for that and need to start marketing for that. And people need to know that it's okay to book and do something there. Or we should be, like I said, you can go into any big box, anything. You can line up in these hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. You can do all that stuff, right? But you can't do this. All right, so let's plan this ahead. Let's get the business knowing now what they can do so they can go into their fall Christmas season prepared. The New Year's, whatever you want to call it, the time of gathering is upon us, and the psychological benefits to that, the impactful of life itself, and living great, healthy lifestyles. Please, governance under EFA 160. What about the spirit of Christmas?